the people that moved into Crystal, and they felt that they were getting a step ahead of the game.
If you understand the history of Crystal and in the small town feel, hey, this is a place that it existed before, it can exist now.
Crystal is a great place, and it still is one of the best kept secrets, I think.
Much of the north-central portion of the city of Crystal is occupied by one operation. That would be the Crystal Airport. Believe it or not, airplanes have long had a presence in this area, but why? And who were some of the famous individuals that rose to the skies out of this area?
It started as delivering mail, and then they, after the war, they sold all of the Jenny airplanes that they used in World War I. They sold them for $50 a piece. So a lot of people bought them, and there was a lot of barnstormers and everything like that. But they had a spot here, and they could deliver airmail. There was a couple of pilots here that flew out of here that were pretty well known. The first one was Charles Lindbergh. He wanted to get a plane, and he said, well, before you get a plane, I want you to get your license so that we know that you're valid, and all that stuff. So he says, I got a guy that I can introduce you to he said he'd teach you. So that was Charles Holman. So Charles Holman was teaching Charles Lindbergh how to fly with this so he could take his test and pass. And they got to be pretty good buddies, and they were delivering mail all the time. And so pretty soon after he got his license, and then they were flying and stuff, and then they got together and formed Northwest Airlines.
The airport did end up changing its location and its name as time moved on. It was first called Robbinsdale Airport when it opened in 1920. It was located near the intersection of West Broadway and 49th Avenue North. And one of the true hotspots near the airport was the Ellis Log Cabin Cafe. It featured dining and dancing starting in the 1920s. Many a night was spent there with fine food and lively music. It stood on the site where Steve-O's is located today. As for the Crystal Airport, it opened in 1946 as a private airport. Then 2 years later, the Metropolitan Airports Commission purchased it, and it still runs today. Another location of fun and excitement in Crystal came, albeit briefly, in the 1950s with the advent of the Bearcat Speedway, where racing cars was the thing to do.
Bearcat Speedway started in 1950, and they were going to make a big deal out of it, and so they were running every Sunday. Naturally, there was a lot of dirt, and so the people were complaining when they were racing. There was a lot of dirt going around. It's right next door to us here, just about 100 feet or so, and they used it right in the corner there. It used to be after the Speedway was there, it was the Babe Ruth ball field. Then of course they moved it over here and they built houses in that area.
The transition to what would become a community with large pockets of many homes and close-knit neighborhoods was about to begin. Those homes not only overtook the location of the Speedway and the original airport, but they also were built on stretches of land, such as this along Douglas Drive, that were home to many farmers.